Hello, Tucson. I'm Dorothy Bonvillion, and this is my business colleague, Dee Denton. And we're here to talk to you today about learning to live life on purpose. You know, do you remember having childhood dreams? Things that you really wanted to do when you grew up? Have you done them yet? Or have you set them aside for all the things that are required of us, you know, as we become adults? So we want to sort of reignite those dreams inside you and talk about how you can be intentional and purposeful in reaching those higher limits and your highest potential. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I'm Dorothy Bonvillion. I am a business owner. I am a leadership coach. I am a personal growth expert. And I love to do training and bring people around to really going inside and doing an inside-out job on growing themselves personally and professionally. And I love the transformation that can occur in people. Do you too, Dee? It's just,
absolutely. It
just brings joy. You know, it feeds my soul. So I'm living my purpose when I feel like I have ignited the desire to figure out what your purpose is and then how to get there by setting goals and creating and writing your vision. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm a 43-year military spouse. So one of the other things that I love to do is reach out to military communities and to military spouses in particular, and to really empower and pour knowledge and enthusiasm into their lives to not only support the military mission and their spouse as they're going along, but to really start early in living those dreams that they had when they were early on and life had not beat them down, you know, and they just wanted to do so many wonderful things. So we're going to talk about that today. Dee?
Great. And those are all wonderful things. And Dorothy and I share the same passion as both of us are international speaker, coaches, and trainers, and fortunately enough to be members of the John Maxwell team as well. And John Maxwell is an author that has authored over more than 70 books and has spent over 50 years of his life being passionate about personal growth and leadership principles. And we've been blessed and fortunate to have been able to spend time with him and mentor, be mentored by him. And recently we traveled to Guatemala to also share teachings of those leadership principles and values with him. And that was a pretty profound experience as well, and that transformational growth and leadership that we were able to share with the government there and training in the 7 levels of influence, as they say there. And that was probably more empowering on us than it were for the people there that we were actually training. So
it was profound.
We're thrilled to be able to bring those type of teachings back here to the States also with you. And so we're looking forward to sharing that. So
we were actually invited down. The John Maxwell team was invited there by the president of Guatemala. And it was a national initiative to begin to transform a nation.
Right.
So to be part of that effort and to tie the leadership principles that John has written about and teaches, and to tie it to values. And it wasn't our gringo values that they tied it to in that nation. They tied it to Guatemalan values that they had taken the time to bring together and then tie it to these laws of leadership. It was fabulous. And what we discovered is that we were transformed in the process.
Exactly.
You know, we will never be the same. It made an indelible imprint in our lives. And we just want to now bring that sort of transformational changes to Tucson, to Arizona, and to our nation as well.
And that's why we've created this program called Learning to Live on Purpose. You know, it's designed so that people can experience the opportunity to transform themselves, as we talk about, in a manner that will help you grow and reach your full potential along the process. And so our goal is really to give you teachings and trainings and opportunities to help you identify maybe some limiting beliefs or roadblocks that you've had along the way, so that you can use those tools and models that we have that we use in our teaching to overcome those and to reach reach your full potential. So we're excited about having this program and bringing it to you.
You know, Dee, talking about those limiting beliefs, I'd never heard them label that before until I actually became part of the John Maxwell team. But you know, I want you to think about it. I mean, we just passed the new year. And how many of you have made New Year's resolutions in the past?
A bunch of us.
Yeah,
Make them
absolutely.
every year. How
many of you have not met some of those New Year's resolutions that you so diligently set at the beginning of the year?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've certainly been guilty of that. And those are the kind of experiences that begin to build and build and build as we age and do different things in our lives that we begin to sort of internalize.
Yeah.
And it begins to build into limiting beliefs, and we think we can't do it because we've missed meeting our goals that we set for ourselves. Now, I want you to think about it like learning to ride a bicycle, okay? Just a simple process like learning to ride a bicycle. There's a learning model to that. I mean, you have to be able to get balance, you know, you have to work your feet, you have to be able to use the handlebars. And so when you're a kid and you're learning to ride a bicycle, were you able to ride the bicycle for the first time successfully without falling off? No. Well, if you watch a child in their language because they haven't built in all these limiting beliefs into their lives yet, well, they fall off the bicycle, and usually the way they would react would be, that stupid bicycle, you know? And so they don't look at themselves as having failed. Right. You know, there was something wrong. The bicycle failed, you know, and they get back on and they try again until they've achieved that goal. So as adults, you know, we don't meet these goals that we set for ourselves, and we begin to internalize and see limits for what we're capable of, and seeing ourselves as not worthy, right, or just, you know, that we don't have the skill sets to ride the bike, as a simple, you know, example. But just, you know, goal setting is part of what I want to talk about today. Goal setting is foundational to actually living your life on purpose. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is goals. And I want you to think of, I actually have a little diagram that I drew, and I want you to think about an hourglass, okay? And as I talk about the hourglass, since goal setting is foundational to getting things done, it would be at the very bottom of that hourglass. And when you think about goals, that's your how. That's how you're going to get from where you are today to where you want to be in the future. So goal setting is very important. Now, the research shows that if you have a written goal, if you write down your goals, you will have a 42% better chance of reaching your goal than if it's not written. And if you get you an accountability partner and you tell someone what that goal is, that percentage goes up to 78%. Wow. So this is a very important process.
I need to be telling a lot of people what my goals are.
Absolutely. And so it's an important process in being able to live into our purpose. So it's important. And it's important to write SMART goals. A lot of people haven't heard that term before. But that means that they're specific. They are measurable. You know, you've got to be able to know, have you accomplished that goal? They are achievable. They are relevant, and they are time-bound. So you're going to give it a date that it has to be done. So that's what a SMART goal amounts to. But, you know, even if you set your goals and you meet every single goal that you've set for yourself, you would be deemed a success by a lot of terms. Mm-hmm. But success is at the bottom level. It's at the bottom of this hourglass. So how do we move up the hourglass and into vision and purpose that brings fulfillment, it brings joy, and it brings significance? Wow. When we get to the top of that hourglass, we are living into significance. And what does that mean? Significance is tied to purpose. That's when we attain our best self. Right. That's when we become everything that we dreamed we wanted to be when we were that young child and we didn't have all those limiting beliefs and we hadn't had those negative experiences. Or sometimes it's just people speaking negativity into our lives and we believe it and we let it stop us from things that we really want to accomplish. So how do we get there? Well, the vision is important. The vision will get you to your purpose. And it takes effort. It have to be intentional about it. It doesn't happen just by chance. So again, written goals, written vision. Now, I paid a personal coach a lot of money for this information that I'm going to share with you right now. And it was in how to define my vision. Okay, that's your what. And it answers the question, what do you really, really want? You know, what at the end of your life, if you turned around and you looked back, what is it that you really, really want? Mm-hmm. And so my coach had me start writing. Write your vision, write your vision, write your vision. And it has to be handwritten because there is a motor, you know, sort of a neuromotor activity that links that into the inside. It links to the heart. It links to the soul when you write it out. Right. And, you know, you go through that process. And this is an inside-out job. Remember, that's what we're talking about here. And so you have to go through that process. Well, I would start writing, and I would take 30 minutes, some days an hour, in the mornings, and I would start writing my vision. Well, I'm an educator. I've been a teacher, and I've been a principal, and I've worked in cultural awareness training for our military, developing curriculum and training cultural competency. And so a lot of my dreams were around, you know, making a contribution to the field of education that would be lasting, and perhaps people would be studying, you know, my learning model for decades to come. You know, something really significant. We're talking about significance here. But as I would write it, I mean, I would have these wild imaginations because he kept telling me, write it, no holds barred. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would it look like? What are the details? Where would you be? What would you be doing? Exactly. Where would you be living? The more detailed I could get, the better. And I kept writing and writing. I would send it to him. And I did it for several weeks, and it was hard work. And I would tell him at first, it just feels like a pipe dream. It seems like this is never going to happen. You know, and he would say, keep writing, Dorothy. Keep writing. Well, at one point, he then said, okay, now I want you to record what you've written. Because when you speak, there's power in the spoken word. And so I began to record it into my iPhone. And I did that every day. I would write my vision, and then I would record it into my iPhone. And I would send it to him. And he would listen to it, and he would give me feedback. Well, after I graduated from that, the last step is that I had to record it, and not only send it to him, but I was to replay it back to myself right before I went to sleep. And it is extremely powerful then, because what happens is our subconscious, that doesn't have all these limiting beliefs up there. That's the intellectual mind that's up there that's telling you can't do this, these are your limits, you don't have the skills to do that, you're not worthy, you know, whatever those things are that we've internalized. This goes into the subconscious mind, Dee. And when you feed that in right before you go to sleep, then that subconscious mind that doesn't see limits and hears your voice describing this incredible vision that you have written for yourself that you want to accomplish, it hears it and it can create it. Then it begins to go back to the bottom of that hourglass and it begins to make it happen. How? That's when you get your how. So John Maxwell and his team, Paul Martinelli, they tell us to jump and grow our wings on the way down. And so that's the kind of thing that we want to bring to you, you want to encourage you to do. It's because that gets you up to your purpose, and your purpose is your why.
Exactly.
So we have the how, the what, and the why. Once you can answer why you want to do it, you can endure anyhow. You know, it's like a process. And that why will drive you to your best self. It will help you achieve your life mission. And you will go from success, which can be money, it can be a particular job, it can be a big house, it can be a car, however someone defines success. But you go from success to significance. And when we finished in Guatemala, I will never forget
Yes.
John Maxwell was talking to us, and we were talking about the entire experience of reaching those people and teaching those values-based principles to them. Because, and let me add that to it, you have to do this, you must know what your core values are. That's what really drives behavior, are our values. And a lot of people say to me, I don't really know what my core values are. You have to go through the process of asking yourself, what are the non-negotiables in my life? What is it that I absolutely will not negotiate on? Those are your core values. And, and here's one that has sort of a negative connotation, but I've heard people say that one of theirs is power. Well, people hear power and they think, they want to be powerful, they want to be in control. Well, think of power in this way. Power can be used for positive, or it can be used for negative. And a good example that I like to give is Hitler was very powerful and very charismatic, but he used it in a very negative way. But what about Mother Teresa?
Exactly.
Mother Teresa, with her sweet spirit, and just this little woman. She didn't have any titles. She didn't have any material possessions. She didn't want that. She wanted to love people and give back to people. And so she was very powerful, but she used her power in a positive way. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. So as John was sort of wrapping up this entire experience in Guatemala, he made this statement, and to the day I die, I will never, ever forget it.
Same here.
He said, once you have experienced significance, success will never be enough.
Exactly.
Wow. I was just like, wow. I had to just sit and process that.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about sitting and processing. We're going to be talking to you about reflecting back.
Exactly.
And really thinking about your experiences and learning from your experiences.
That's right.
And so that'll be another teaching segment.
That's right.
So remember, we've got goals, we've got vision, we've got purpose. Your how, your what, and your why. From success to significance. Anything you want to add, Dee?
Perfect. That's a powerful lesson, and I think that just really culminates one of the reasons that Dorothy and I are so passionate about bringing this program of learning to live on purpose to you. And we offer these types of programs to you. You can reach out to us if you're interested, and for those of you that want to embrace that journey for a more purposeful life, those of you that want to be, do, and have more in life, or just have that little whisper that says, I want to grow. I want to grow. If you would love to grow with us, we would love for you to reach out to our websites that are located on the screen for you. We have a program, many things available to you, and our Empowerment Mentoring Training Program is one of many, but a very powerful program that covers these topics that Dorothy and I were just speaking with you on. Some of the other topics are journaling and learning how to journal. You are perfect, world famous, perception, gratitude, a lot of topics.
Forgiveness.
Yes,
Forgiveness
exactly.
is one of the
powerful lesson. So embracing those lessons and taking that deeper dive with us so that you too can get on a more purposeful path and reach your full potential in life. That's what we would love to be able to participate with you.
Absolutely.
So reach out, join us. If you know of anyone that needs a speaker, trainer, coach, reach out to us as well. We do a lot of that as well. Look forward.
We also do mastermind groups that people really enjoy and love and grow. I have a group that I did one right before Christmas, and now they're clamoring for the next one. So it's a great learning experience, shared experience.
And the good thing is we do a lot of this via teleconference, so you do not have to be live and in person and on site with us. It's anywhere from a 45-minute to an hour call. Some of them are once a week. Some trainings are every other week. Could be a 30-day, 90-day, 6-month program. We have a lot of options. So you could be at home in pajamas. So
Absolutely.
Join us. There's no excuse for no growth.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.